Yo, what is good, my anime people? What is good, yo? So, yeah, what's poppin'? With this week's episode of One Punch Man, I'm pretty sure it's safe to say that they are just going to make anything and everything as hype as they possibly can from now on. And they did that by showing us one of the most strongest humans that clearly isn't Saitama getting absolutely bodied, which I have a good feeling that he's really up there when it comes down to just full on power. I mean, we saw somebody who was actually giving him a run for his money for a little bit, and somehow that person still winds up not being as strong as him. So and that's with him turning into a monster. So it's kind of clear to me that Serial, being one of the strongest humans of all time, um, definitely would be like an the number one A class hero or the lowest S class at this point. So actually, I'm not sure because when I see S classes, sometimes they really don't hide any types of or not hide, but they don't show any types of flaws. Like there were some flaws that were shown in this week's episode when it came down to like the some of the heroes and whatnot. But overall, we have seen S-class heroes mess up in the case of like the prisoner and everybody who was trying to stop uh, the first season guy who was about to destroy everything. So that's about as much. And then the tank top guy with the hero hunter. But I mean, not many chance should have not many chance. Not many people should have a chance against someone who's been training under Silverfang, one of the best, if not one of the most oldest, and still continuing to be a S-class hero to this day. So, if anybody can beat him, it would be someone ridiculously powerful, aka, Silverfang himself. But as it's going, he can't even find him, and we saw the hero hunter this week get into a fight with the dog man, or wolf, watchdog, or something. Um, which somehow he became a ridiculously dope character just within this instant alone. Like, how? Like, all of a sudden, this no-name hero just became, like, ridiculously dope to me. He's straight up fighting the hero hunter, and as he does his, like, ultimate technique that an S-class hero really stood no chance against and got pretty much bodied, um, this guy is literally like shaking. Like, so imagine if you walk up to a dog and you're like, "Hey, shake." Like that's the equivalent of what this guy is doing to the hero hunter right now. He's literally shaking hands with him as he says in this episode, "I didn't tell you to shake." Like he's literally angry that this man is putting his paws on each one of the back of his hands during his attacks. So Wolf, the dog is this dog is absolutely nuts. Um, it. The funny thing is, it looks like Saitama in a dog suit. That's the weirdest part about this character right now to me is he just looks like one of the bald people who are wearing like he's the same whatever Saitama's done. He's that same type of person, but just in a dog suit. It's weird. It's really weird. But at the same time, seeing that he's keeping up with someone as strong as the hero hunter, yeah, it don't matter to me. This man is god right now. So, other than that, that's popping off. We have the tournament coming to a close, and as soon as the tournament comes to a close, the heroes attack or the monsters attack. Um, some of the heroes who are already like incapacitated get back up and still want to fight and try to protect everybody, find out that they really can't because these guys are so ridiculously strong. So Let's see if this goes across the map. It sure almost did. Um, but with all that being said, it's really cool to see somebody who, has no tendency of being a hero just absolutely snapping off and just going ham. But at the same time, it just proved the point that Saitama was right after the last week's episode when he told him not to get any stronger. I mean, imagine if he did choose to take that monster thing and get stronger. Saitama would have to come in and punch you in the face. So by taking his advice and not getting stronger, he is alive and gets to be saved. While the other guys who have already turned into monsters literally couldn't even beat a human who was already, you know, not deciding to become, any stronger or really not to. He didn't really plan on even fighting these guys. He just wanted to go home or go on a date with this girl that he was talking to and just call it a night. But of course, that can't happen in this world. um, Dang, that sucks. You always gotta fight your fights, and man, did he fight this week. He almost instantly got bodied. This man broke his wrist first, then one of his back of his legs got kicked in. Like, he went through the ringers this week, and to think that we're just getting started seemingly with this show, like we're just getting a glimpse of what the monster organization is. Uh, they just pretty much prove that they're stronger than one of the most strongest non-hero humans of all time. And not that they're only stronger than him, but the ones that were really showing what they could do were literally just toying with the kid. They were literally not even trying. They were barely putting any effort into it, seemingly. So that's how much of a difference there is between him and these monsters. And to think that there is even more, even huger, even ginormouser size gap between the monsters and Saitama, seemingly. I mean, let's be fair. Saitama did block a lot of Sirius attacks, but guess what? He only was blocking and doing all those things because he had a wig on and he had to make sure his identity was kept a secret. So, yeah, of course he was blocking and doing all this extra stuff to make sure his identity was not blown, but you take off the wig, you put him out in his outfit, bald head and all, you done messed up. You done did it now. Like, I can't wait to see what all transpires. I mean, it's probably literally going to be the title of the show, some one punch, and be over. But the person that really caused the most psychological damage, not to mention threw a punch at a monster that's at dragon rating and still scared it, is Goku. He's like Goku. They literally just love Goku type characters in the show. We had a first season. We had a guy who turned Super Saiyan pretty much, and he was wearing stuff to make sure his power didn't seep out. And then now here we are watching Gosink or something along those lines, who's a martial artist who supposedly won the previous tournament, and then they all thought he died to a monster. So yeah, he's back and ridiculous, and somehow even stronger than people who have been training religiously and then becoming monsters. So it just goes to show you that he's probably been even training while he was a monster. So that's really cool in that aspect. Not only that, we're really in a dark time when every single hero is just absolutely getting bodied back and forth. So it's crazy to see this, but at the same time, it's not that surprising because I mean, the heroes are punching bags for these monsters, and we've seen that before. So it's not like, oh my God, how could this possibly be happening? Oh, like we know it's possible because just how things be going. Um, but yeah, We got Saitama literally showing up at the nick of a second of the final of the episodes, like concluding seconds. Oh, I missed it. That was dirty though. And with him showing up, we can at least be sure that, at least somebody is gonna make it out alive, and that somebody being Siriu. Seeing how he was sitting there crying and begging for help, the same guy who thought heroes were useless and dumb and this and that, and all of a sudden you were put in the ultimate darkness, reaching for any types of light, and the light you found was Saitama. It was a good thing he actually was screaming out, because somehow he didn't hear anything until the screaming. That's One Punch Man for you right there. Yeah, so after hearing him screaming, he shows up to save the day, and to think that this man was actually going to be able to show up and give hope to a man who really doesn't care about the overall world, in the case of, as long as he's having fun, as long as he has freedom, and as long as things fall apart for him, this world is fun. So there's no reason to do this and that. That's just how this character comes off, and it makes sense because, I mean, come on, let's be honest. There's a lot of people that literally want to live lives like this. There's people that actually do stuff like that. They get ahead of the curve just so they can, be able to not have to worry about things that other people have to worry about on a daily day basis. So it's a thing, and it's really cool that they played it out this way to just show that, regardless of what your lifestyle is, you're still going to end up in some ridiculously crappy situations if you're not paying attention, and if you're not willing to just stay on your toes. I mean, not even stay on your toes. Like, what can you do against people who literally were humans turned into monsters with martial arts techniques, with ways of torture? Like, they know bones and limbs and stuff that break, so they're literally just breaking you down slowly as possible. Um, we learned kind of what the monster organization wants, and that's the last thing I'll talk about in this week's episode. Is one thing they wanted was to pretty much just show all humans that monsters are just superior. Oh, that is a grab. And not only show that monsters are more superior, but just to show how frightening they are, just to show how much they've actually are, superior supposedly over us and stuff like that. So that's really what the first step was. The second step was to kidnap somebody from the hero organization, and pretty much, use that as their way of probably getting all the other heroes to pretty much act. Like, as soon as someone is gone, like, for instance, the guy who they captured, or that they were telling Metal Bot in the first place to take care of, was like some CEO or something. Like, he was actually a really big name. So already they have somebody, and I think it's his son that they got. They didn't even show the father, that they have him. But it just goes to show you that regardless of what all they did, they still failed as heroes to the organization's eyes by losing, one of the people that they literally told them to protect. You had one job and you failed, kind of deal. So we'll see how this all plays out. The third thing they wanted was to turn humans into monsters, and as we saw in last week, there was a cat that went inside the prison and pretty much took all the prisoners. Oh, that was sick. I deserved to. Oh, I was gonna get hit. I was just gonna allow it. But he went to the prison and took all the people that he can, and now there's literally a prison full of monsters that, well, people that accepted the monster thing. They're all about to come for any type of action. So I can't wait to see really oh my god, what transpires and what all pops off. So with all that being said, I hope you guys have an amazing day, night, evening. Your boy got more content to make, so if you are looking forward to that, make sure you drop a like and subscribe, and I will definitely get that to you soon. So with all that being said, thank you so much for the support, and I will talk to you soon. Peace.